there all you Geminis. Hi, greetings, a warm welcome, namaste to you all. Lucky last, this is your reading for September 2017. If you've been following any of your rising or moon signs, you'll know the layout already. 4 cards from each of the 3 decks. So a little bit of shuffling in place for the Gemini energies, and let's see what's coming your way, guys. First card, Queen of Rods. Second, 8 of Rods. Third, the 4 of Cups. And fourth, the 2 of Swords. Ooh, getting myself a bit lost there. Okay, moving those up a little bit. This 4 of Cups has been out for so many people. There's something here in that I think everyone needs to focus on in their readings. So these are the John Holland Psychic Tarot, and just a little bit more shuffling. They're quite big cards, so they're not that easy to just shuffle. But let's see what's coming next. Recognition and reward. Prosperity begins. Wow, it's looking nice for your finances here. The 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. Wow. And I just said, didn't I, that we needed to pay close attention to what the message in that card is actually saying. I have inadvertently picked 2 cards off, so we will put them both together, and lo and behold, another Pentacles card. Now, before I carry on, I did have some words for you guys that I had picked out before the reading, which were power, manifestation, and the colour orange. So these are, the red colour on the card, but we've got quite a lot of orange coming through, and orange is the sacral chakra area of the body, and that is where we get power and manifestation from. And you guys, you certainly seem to have a bit of manifestation of money in the month of September. And interestingly enough, money hasn't really been a subject for many other of the signs during the month. That one is let go. That one is vegetarian, new home, and summertime. So let's have a look. We read really from this way down, this being the first week, second, third and fourth. But there is a flow through the cards. They're not necessarily set and tied in stone as such. So you'll feel the energies throughout the month, but this gives you a broad idea of possibly when they're starting, and they maybe move through and sweep through. Let's start with your... Just looking, you haven't really any major arcana cards except the one which is the throat chakra, which we kind of consider a major arcana. You've definitely got the 3 pentacles, you've got the 2 cups, and you've got 2 wands and a sword. So I think, as I said in the very beginning, this 4 of Cups, which is about kind of discontent and boredom, seems as though it might be playing a role with you guys in the month. Now, we have just come out of the ecliptical season, and the 21st of August is when the big solar eclipse happened, which traversed from one coast to the other on the American continent, well, the United States of America's continent land. So it was powerful. It will create a lot of energetic release for a lot of people, and eclipses do bring up ideas, thoughts, emotions in particular that have been hiding and locked away, things that we often don't address personally or that we haven't been aware of. So sometimes this comes about through our own initiation or through the initiation of other people making stuff happen or making us confront issues. Let's start with the first card, the Queen of Rods. She is often a fire sign person. She could be in your life as an employer, an employee, or a friend. She is possibly there to stir something up, so she could be in a positive way, and if not, she's maybe making friction enough that gets you going. She does have a creative force about her, so often when she's around, creative energies come to the flow and they surge up. Now, interesting, right underneath is the Three of Pentacles, and this is recognition and reward, and this often is associated with career and having someone acknowledge your work, ethics, dedication, ability, and time, everything. It's a positive card of success and achievement. So she could play a role in you being awarded or rewarded in your career sector. Sometimes this means that you could get a promotion, or you could apply for a job and you could be successful. It could even mean that some of you get your name in writing one way or another. You become like the employee of the month, or you become somebody's talking about you and the things that you've either done or that you're doing, or your ideas as well. So that's a really good possibility. We have here let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. So part of this is the ability to not have a set pattern or desire for every single outcome in our life. So by letting go and relaxing and allowing the natural flow and ebb and energies to come in, we can often reach a point of manifestation much quicker than when we're rigidly tying on to everything. So I think the message for that card is, it's not necessarily that you have to leave something behind, but you just have to open up more. You have to be more free-flowing, like allow the boundaries to come down, allow the borders to come down. So it could be in personal relationships, it could be at work, it could be to do with your pattern or the way you thought you were going to move forward. So often we do have like a very set specific in our, particularly our career sector, and we might say, right, I'm going to go to university for 3 years and I'm going to study this, and then I will apply for a job and I will become an accountant or a nurse or a builder, and that's it, bing bo, all done. And then on that journey things mould a little bit and they change and other avenues open. And so 2 years down the track you might think, oh, actually I can see that I've got really good capacity to do something else, to add a different perspective to my degree. So maybe I thought I might do straight building and become, like a commercial builder, but in fact I think I could hook plumbing into this, or I could hook design into it. And likewise, it's about opening and broadening your horizons to allow many more desires to come in. For some of you, it will be actually about letting go of something that you just need to drop off now and move on. You'll know what it is, you will be able to think of it and it will resonate with you. And if you can come up with something straight away that pops into your mind, then that's what you need to pay attention to. And it could be that you are a little bit bored and discontent with it. And if that's the case, you've got to listen to yourself. Why are you bored? Why is it not fulfilling you? Because you've got these other ideas in the background that are bubbling away, that when you let go of this desired outcome, you'll find the free flow coming in. And prosperity comes. And it's all about also adding to the patience and planning and direction. So coming to the second week, and we have this Eight of Wands. This is a cool card. I love it. It's quite active. Again, it's about creativity. So we've got these two areas of creative kind of forces right next to each other. It bodes quickness, rapid speed, change. It also bodes travel, and often air travel. Some of you may be going on a trip in September or planning one. Some of you may be invited to attend something regards your career prospects or your job. It could be an interview, it could be a seminar. Those type of things could be happening. It can also be suggestive of new relationships coming, this card, and they can be quick and rapid, and they can be, quite passionate. So that card has a whole host of different energies, and again, it could be different for every one of you. Prosperity begins. This is like the Ace of Pentacles. So this is the money. And you can see that the little seed has been planted. It looks like a walnut, although these look like peaches, so it must be a peach seed. It's turned into a tree and it has produced these beautiful fruits which are now abundant in this person's life. So it's telling you there's a cycle of prosperity beginning, and this could be with your finances quite literally. This recognition and reward over here may pay abundance for your finances. There's a tie-in there, and the two cards arrived right next to each other. So I do feel for some of you there's some positivity in your career sector where there's possibly financial gains coming. The other ways this card can be activated are a small win, an inheritance, a loan, the offer of some sort of financial backing for businesses. If any of you have had business ideas or propositions, this could be a good time where you find a benefactor that is prepared to back you, or you find your own money and it turns up for the event. Interesting little message down here. It doesn't seem to I was going to say, it doesn't seem to tie in with the rest of the message. And then I look, vegetarian, and what is this? Fruit off the tree. So okay, there might be something here for you, a message about your diet that could be very beneficial if you make some changes. And perhaps to some of you there might be a message here about organic food. So if you are hypersensitive, or you've been unwell, or you've got food allergies, it could be that you need to make a change in your diet here and go to organic foods, or more like raw foods, so your fruit and vegetables in particular. Now they help a lot of stomach allergic reactions and autoimmune type problems, celiac disease, bowel dysfunction. They help a lot of those type of things. There's a whole lot of information available to us, but quite hidden from us at the same time, about the quality of the food that we are eating, how many additives, preservatives, spray toxins are in them, and they actually make people very sick and very unwell. Also, having good gut health is really important in dealing with all the chemicals and toxins that go into our body. And when we have good gut health, we are then in a position to get rid of it, get the waste products out of our body. So one of the best ways to have good gut health is to have probiotics, which are tablets you can buy, and have one of those every day, and also to drink things like fermented foods, so coleslaw that's fermented, which I think stems from the German realm of life. I forget what they call it. But there's another thing you can buy called kombucha. It's a naturally fermented drink that has a live bacteria culture in it. Also, yogurt is quite good. So any of these things can be really beneficial to help alleviate allergic responses to the body or autoimmune disorders. It also helps relieve skin issues, which are quite often brought about. And if you have irritated skin like eczema, psoriasis, or just boils or itches, changing your diet and going to a more organic origin and eating raw foods, vegetables and fruits, can be very, very beneficial for you as well. So I thought that was a little bit strange when I first saw it, but in fact it's come through as quite a powerful message. So I think for some of you this could be a really interesting part of the reading that might be quite important. And then when I clicked in and saw the peaches above, I felt they were very connected. We come to this third column with the 2 4s, the 2 4 of cups, and we understand that's about discontent and boredom, and often it refers to an offer coming our way and us feeling that it's not good enough for us, and that we're ambivalent about it, we're dissatisfied, it's not what we expected or wanted. Now this can be an offer at many different levels. It can be an offer from the heart, or something that you're passionate about or interested in. So it can be to do with relationships, and it can be new love relationships. So sometimes if someone approaches you and shows interest and you go, good God, not interested in that person, be a little more responsive and look into things a little bit more. Take the time to do a bit of due diligence on any offers that are coming your way and expand your horizons and open your perspectives. Now, the fact that the two cards turned up right under each other is very powerful. And I mentioned it at the beginning. There's something in this month about our apathy and our discontent and boredom. So I think a lot of people are going to be feeling bored or agitated or ready to make a change. And when we see up on the top right hand corner the Two of Swords, this is also about thinking, what sort of change am I making? How do I get there? What do I want? And in the back of that card is an ecliptical moon. It's showing us that the eclipse has had an effect on you guys, and that it is making you ponder or making you unsure of directions, what it is you want and how to make them. So I think these three here are very tied in, and even the throat chakra. So the throat chakra talks to us about communication and the ability to talk and know that communication resolves most issues. So it's not just talking. Communication is also writing things down. Emails, having a personal diary tells us so much about ourselves when we go back and read over it. So if you start a journal or a diary about your feelings, about your expectations, about your desires, everything, and keep it for a month, and then look back and read it, it will give you some hidden answers as to what it is you want, what direction you want to go, what you're passionate about. And that in turn will help to answer this. Because this is the card of question and uncertainty about which way to go. And it often requires communication because it is the Swords card. The throat chakra is also in our throat, so this can refer to throat issues such as the thyroid gland, because that is in our throat as well. So coming back to this vegetarian card and the throat chakra, they're also connected, because what else do we do in the area of our throat? We eat our food. So again, they're kind of suggesting you need to take care of and think about what you're putting in your mouth for the month of September, and maybe there are some dietary issues that could be pertinent for you. If any of you need to go and have a blood test done to check your thyroid levels, that could also be relevant. There are some really good foods and herbs that help prompt the thyroid into activity as well, and that might be worth looking into. Now, I guess I've missed this card here. I skipped, and this is new home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. And I'm sorry I skipped that, because I think it falls very importantly too into this discontent and boredom. So for some of you, there might be a realization coming that your home living environment where you are is creating some of this discontent and boredom. Now, this can come from the physical home you're living in, such as the building or the place or the neighbourhood or the country, right? You might be bored with any of those perspectives and think, I need to move home. I want to shift to another neighbourhood, or I want to go from living in an apartment to a home, or I want to go from a house to a farm block. Or it could be the people or the energies in your home no longer keep you happy and, passionate. So some of you could be contemplating leaving home because the relationships are no longer satisfying. And if that is the case, so be it. You prepare to work through how it's all done and why it's happening and what is in store for you as you move forward. And I think that's what this is about, parting of the ways. Which way do I go? Which decision do I make? How do we do this? So there is, for some of you, there is definitely some sort of parting of the ways and possibly leaving your homes behind and moving into a new home, which is a happy thing. In most instances, it's because you want to become happy again. So, or, excited or passionate or creative or inspired. Some of you, it might just be moving away from your home that you've lived in for a long time and saying goodbye to friends or family because you've found your new direction in life and off you go. So it's not all bad, it's exciting, but there could be some form of loss involved in it as well, like loss of a partner or relationships. This one here, the one that skipped out with the reading, the Seven of Pentacles, talks to us about patience and planning. So perhaps if you are making this move, you need to have the planning in place, and it might take a while, so there could be patience. It is the Seven of Pentacles, so it's more about money again. Perhaps if there's a separation coming or a splitting of the ways, you have to be patient about the finances being split and getting your half of the rewards or the financial perspective. This can be through a business as well, so it could be businesses deciding to go different ways, and alternatively it could also be businesses that are coming together to grow, and this could be about the planning of a new business or growing or extending your business. And it looks as though summer is your timing phrase or period. Summer, everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. So if there is this indecision, which is all up through here, and you do your communication and you plan it all out and you're patient with it, it looks as though it will appear through the summer months. Now for the Northern Hemisphere, that is right now, and taking you through another month and probably. Well, I guess September is the beginning of autumn or fall. And for us down here in the Southern Hemisphere, this could be more in our December, January, February time frame period. So there you are, Geminis. It turned out to be quite an involved reading with quite a lot of messages, but they all wanted to be said. So we couldn't make it any shorter. It just is what it is. And that's what this is all about. Let go of the need to control what messages come through. It happens how it happens. So guys, I actually liked doing that reading. I think there was a lot of interesting forethought and messages and structure and revelations that came through it. And each one of you will be more interested in a part of it than another because it will mean more to you. But thanks for tuning in, listening, liking and subbing and leaving your comments. It's always wonderful. So I wish for you a fantastic September. You look like you have so much going on, certainly plenty around money and plenty around changes coming through that you are the one probably putting the inspiration into and getting it going. So again, Gemini, thank you. Have a wonderful month ahead. See you all next month. Take care. Namaste.